David, I think I need to, we've talked about this before, but I think I'm going to edit together a little countdown for us, right?
I like that. Yeah, like a little sizzle reel.
Yeah, a little sizzle, like a little bam, ba bam. Like, is the Penguin good? Bam, bam, bam. Top 50, bam. And then it's not, because that countdown is a little dramatic for us.
I feel like, do you know? I was hoping maybe you might know some people. I know people in showbiz. Do you know anybody like a Carrie Underwood? So we get like a little Sunday Night Football intro. Like, are you ready? Get a little guitar going.
I think Amanda's friend Candace had like an album at one point.
Okay, there we go. Okay, maybe we should do like a little vocals.
Yeah, I think one of Amanda's friends wrote a song for Miley Cyrus one time.
There we go. There we go.
I can play piano.
Hopefully she could offer us maybe a discount,
yes.
If we promise, not to profit off it in any, or I don't know, something like she just help us out. Yeah.
I think the free 99 is kind of what we're going for.
Yes.
You know yes. Yeah. Clearly David is feeling a little strapped after his golf vacation, because there's nothing quite like a golf trip to make you look at your finances and go, golf's too expensive.
Golf's very expensive. It's nice that I went with my dad, who, even at my age of 40 years old, still pitches in. But I feel like, I'm at a level like now, like, I try to help out when I can. Like, I got his dinner one night. I paid for one of the rounds. I'm trying. I can never pay my dad back. I don't think we can ever pay our parents back for what they've done for us and how they've raised us. But I try to offer. And whenever I do pay for something, he gets very excited. Like, he talks about it for a while. He's like, wow. Like, thanks, Dave, for doing that. Really appreciate that. Like, really, thank you. Like, he gets really excited. Like, it seems to hit him in a certain way. So anyway, it's a good trip.
The money all goes to the same place, really.
I know, it all goes. Yeah, hopefully, I think he's got some stuff saved away for me and Miles for later. So it all goes into Miles' fund for his college fund. So
it's Kelly gets nothing. All of that.
Poor Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly gets nothing. Wiley OFC in the chat says, "I am a music business major. Just saying, music business." And music is different, is it not, Wiley? Wiley, can you play instruments? Could you play us a song? If you could play us a song, that would be cool. I would dig that. Welcome everybody to TV Talk. We're here every couple of weeks, every other week. Thursday seems to be a good day for David and I at around 4:00. So we'll keep that for a little while until things possibly change. Kate Van D in the chat, our guy MK Songbird, aka MKS Songbird. Jonathan Peck, Hunter Gasaway, good to see everybody. Hey, Miss Lenore Dixon, how is it's a nice little Thursday we've got going on. David wearing his usual Buffalo Bills hat for the next 18 to 20 weeks, depending on a Super Bowl run.
If we lose to the Jets on Monday, this might get burned. I don't know.
You know what the worst part about that game is, David? Is you guys are walking into like a trap game where they've got a new head coach.
They get the new coach bump. Every team, remember, like Jeff Saturday went to coach the Colts, and then he was let go a few months after. But they won their first game. They're all pumped on the sidelines, like, and then they get the new coach bump. It's going to happen. We're probably going to lose.
It's the worst. It really is.
I wish Saleh was still the coach.
I mean, Saleh, he wasn't doing it. It's the Jets. It's the Jets. There are certain ownership groups in the NFL that are going to botch it. They're just going to botch it every single friggin' time. Every time. Yeah. And football is TV. If you guys want to support the show, you guys see the Streamlabs link up there. And you can throw in some money there on Streamlabs. I will keep my eye on it. I've got it over here. You got to go over to tipping, David. You got to go to tipping, and then you got to go to tip history. There's so many buttons to press. This is really good podcasting here, David. Our Road Dog Wiley was the last one to tip us, which was last TV Talk. So thank you
Road Dog,
very much.
Josh, it's a great time to be enjoying TV. This is one of my favorite times of the year. Josh, I'm not even the biggest baseball fan, but I turn on the Dodgers Padres series. It's a fun series to watch. Sure. A lot of offense, a lot of runs. You get to see Shohei Ohtani. You got all the fall TV starting back up. Abbott Elementary, its new season premiered last night.
Fall did TV. It? I got to watch.
I didn't watch it either, but it's back.
I will say, I think English Teacher has supplanted my teacher show as my favorite teacher show.
I think it's going to be a big shock to go from English Teacher with all the F-bombs and everything, and then kind of go to the cleaner version of Abbott. But I'm excited to get back into Abbott too, because they're both great shows.
Now, did you see that Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia are going to have a crossover?
Yeah, which I wish I could get more excited. I just never got into It's Always Sunny. So even if they did a crossover, I wouldn't get any of the jokes. I don't think I'd get it. I've never watched it.
It's definitely not your speed, David. That's not your kind of show. It's definitely it's it's a wild off the wall comedy with a lot of it's not kid friendly. It was happened, right? Not that I'm saying that you're a kid. I'm just saying it's definitely not. It's not a David Griffin style show. Scott Welsh making a solid point. The NHL is back, so my TV watching is going up exponentially. Yes, my Penguins lost 6-0 in their opening game last night, which is awesome. We're just wasting Sidney Crosby's last years with decent hockey, maybe even borderline terrible hockey.
Josh, did you guys ever win a Stanley Cup with him? I can't remember.
3. We've won 3 with him. Yeah.
You guys are fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. We won back-to-back cups. Listen, I'm a little greedy, David. I understand that, but he's one of the greatest to ever do it. He's not the greatest. I will give that to Wayne Gretzky, obviously. And right under Wayne Gretzky is Mario Lemieux, and then right under Mario Lemieux is Sidney Crosby, and there can be some argument about other people in there. But winning 3 cups, I know I'm spoiled, but as the greatest player of the last 20 years, I think he deserves one more. One more.
Okay.
Leo says that Southern Mother on English Teacher, Chef's Kiss. That was an incredible performance. If you haven't seen the Linda episode yet,
yes, that was with the guns and
so good.
Yeah.
And that went from very funny and slap silly to a very good moment at the end of that episode.
Yeah.
That was a really well written episode. Yeah,
it was.
Oh, Scott Welsh saying also Mario Lemieux is the GOAT. And then Scott Welsh says, could be worse, Josh. Canucks were up 4-1 and lost 6-5 in OT to Calgary. Ew, that's not great.
Is it Sabres win? Not that I'm a very fair weather Sabres fan.
Jonathan Peck coming in with I like how we get into some sports talk here on TV Talk. Josh, I want to say thank you for putting my team, the Washington Commanders, as your boom or bust team this year. So far, they are boom so far, and I am excited. You and Mark Ellis, very excited. And I love Jaden Daniels. I wish the Steelers would have had some shot at Jaden Daniels. I thought that coming out of LSU, he was the dude. I thought that the Bears should have drafted him number 1 overall. I thought Caleb Williams. And hey, listen, the jury's still out on Caleb Williams. I think he could be very good. David, he plays for the Bears. They could waste him, right? He could be hurt. They've surrounded him with weapons. This is the best situation the Chicago Bears quarterback has ever come into in the history of them drafting number 1 or very close to number 1 overall picks. But man, that Commanders, when they finally got a new owner, you see what ownership does in football, really and truly. Mm-hmm. They finally got a new owner. They got a quarterback, a coach. They just got a new mentality, a new aura in the building. It's like when the Bills got Josh Allen, they were like, we finally got our guy, right? It's like when Ben Roethlisberger came in, we've been waiting for him since Terry Bradshaw. We finally got our guy. The Chiefs, they finally got our guy. Like, there's a lot of teams that are still waiting, like, where's our fucking guy?
Yeah. I try not to complain too much because we have a guy, one of the guys, like one of the top guys. So I really try not to complain, but
yeah,
that's just hard sometimes. It's really just hard to be a fan. It's a struggle.
Man, football, sports, all of it. And they're playing for the first time ever. It's called the Black Desert Invitational, David, and it's in Utah. This course looks unbelievable, majestic, if you will. Already a hole-in-one on a 130-yard par 3. A lot of it doesn't look like your typical PGA Tour event. It's very out in the middle of nowhere, very desert, lava rock, all that kind of stuff. But sometimes you got to switch it up. David.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a bunch of Tanner Rowan. Good to see you. Backwards hat Dan Quinn motivates the boys. Okay. He's not wrong. Put a backwards hat on a guy. Oh, Scott Welsh is saying Mario Lemieux is the GOAT. David, can't disagree.
I remember him.
Okay, here's a little hypothetical question. So the Penguins every year deliver season tickets to their season ticket holders. So one day you could be waiting around and Sidney Crosby shows up at your door with tickets.
That's a cool tradition. I know they did that.
Right, kind of cool. Take away Josh Allen. Who shows up at your door with Bills season tickets that would make you most excited?
Yeah, so we got rid of so many guys. Like we lost 6 captains over the offseason. Who's left?
Gonzo. What about a old Bill? You could take Bill.
Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith. Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed. Oh, I know you don't watch the show anymore. Andre Reed was on an episode of The Golden Bachelorette. Sorry, Michelle and I are watching The Golden Bachelorette right now. And Andre Reed, they were doing like, some type of, they're doing kickball. All the old guys.
He was like on it as a contestant.
Yeah, so it was Andre Reed and Eric Dickerson, two NFL Hall of Fame legends came out, and they were, helping the older gentlemen prepare for a kickball game. So that was cool. Got to see a Buffalo. So that's who would be Josh. Andre Reed. Like Andre Reed.
Andre Reed. Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see Bruce Smith just run through your door. Like you can't even stop him. Just runs right through it.
I mean,
here's your tickets, David. Sorry about your door.
That's a really cool tradition, though. I had no idea. Oh, Josh, speaking of which, there's another, it's not on the rundown, but I wanted to throw it in there. There's another Netflix series that just dropped. A lot of sports series out there. Even if you don't like sports, you're not interested. It's called Starting Five.
Yeah.
It is an NBA one. I watched the first couple episodes already. It's very good. It follows, you got LeBron, Sabonis. I always forget his first name.
Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, and his dad, of course, played for the Portland Trail Blazers. Great player, and it's really good. It's like any other sports documentary. You get to see them at home, see them with their kids, the wives, see what they're doing. It's good though. It's well done.
Is it from LeBron's production company?
No, it's everybody. It's LeBron produced it. LeBron's guy produces it. I forgot his producer's name. Michelle and Barack Obama produce it, and Peyton Manning. It's also an Omaha production. So everybody produces it. Everybody has their hand in this. So it's pretty well done. It's called Starting Five on Netflix.
On Netflix. I love that.
Yeah.
It has definitely popped up in like the promo thing. I watched, and we're going to talk about, we can talk about it now, but I'm not finished with it. I'm like all the way up to WrestleMania 3. And even though I'm not a wrestling fan, I was never a wrestling fan. I've been destroyed online about my, I don't want to say hatred for wrestling, just my lack of fandom for it, and really respect, I guess would be the word. But I do love a good documentary, and I wanted to hate this documentary, but it is kind of cool. I mean, Vince McMahon might be a slimeball scumbag, total, waste of space, but he did build an unbelievable kingdom. Really, what it is.
Yeah.
An unbelievable dictatorship, if you will, right? And you got to give him credit for that, because without him, obviously, wrestling isn't where it is today. He had the vision, he did all the things, and it is kind of cool to see a lot of that old wrestling footage, which was the stuff that formed like our generation of wrestling fans, from Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan, but all that like weird early stuff. But this documentary, the fact that they got so much, behind the scenes stuff with Vince McMahon before he got in trouble.
Yeah. And they said they got hundreds of hours of content. It's really well done. And one of the reasons why I think it's so well done is it comes from Bill Simmons. He's one of the executive producers he was responsible for starting the 30 for 30 documentary series on ESPN, which has so many. So it's in that same vein.
Yeah.
It's just really well done. I mean, I love learning more about Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. When I was a kid, I had a Hulk Hogan action figure, all that kind of stuff. And then even like the newer guys, like the transition from having names like Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter to guys that they just use their real names, like Raymond Ray or, John Cena and all that. Like they stopped having nicknames. Now this new generation, we're just going to have our regular names.
Did they run out of nicknames, do we think?
Maybe they ran out. They might have run out. Yeah, after all those years. Yeah.
Right? It was...
Yeah.
Did I tell you my John Cena in Pittsburgh story? Did I tell you this story?
Have you met him?
No. So last summer, we were at my cousin's wedding, and me and Amanda are walking to breakfast, and this guy's walking towards us, and it's kind of dark. And I can only tell a silhouette. And I was like, what is that, John Cena? And he looked at me and I was like, whoa, it's John Cena.
That's it? That's all it was?
Amanda's face went bright red. That's right. He just kept walking by. Kind of gave me like, he was like, what is that, John Cena? Whoa, that's John Cena. All right. Because he's not a tall guy, but he's so broad.
Yeah.
You know, he's built kind of like a Ford Bronco. You know what I mean? Like he's not huge and long. He's just like stout looking. You know, like his legs are the same size as his arms, and his torso, like there isn't like a curvature to his body.
He's like
just
square.
Like one giant brick house. Yeah. It's kind of how I think people describe me, David. You know, like one.
I can can see that. Yeah, strong man. I can see that. Not the tallest guy, but strong, solid,
stout, if you will. Not so much shaped like a hourglass, more like a piece of wood. Just large.
Not every time that, again, sorry folks for going off topic. We have a lot to talk about. We're talking about Lord of the Rings. We got the franchise, English teacher. We got Aaron Hernandez, the Menendez brothers. We're gonna talk some Green Lantern news, all kinds of stuff. Let's tell a quick story, Josh.
Hit me.
My first time in LA is the first time I ever met an actor in my life. I worked at Maggiano's Little Italy at the Grove. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, they left.
We had a holiday party upstairs in one of the ballrooms or boardrooms, whatever you want to call them. And I think it was The Young and the Restless or Bold and the Beautiful. One of those casts came in. And this is my first time ever seeing Hollywood people, any type of Hollywood person. First time coming in from Michigan, small town guy. I walk in and this man turns around. He's probably like in his mid 40s. He's got the salt and pepper hair, the perfect white teeth. He just looked at me and smiled and said, "Hi." And I looked at him. I was like, I've never seen a man that beautiful in my life before. I had never seen a man look like that. I've never seen a man that had the perfect hair, the perfect beard, like just everything. I was like, oh, this is what Hollywood. I see. Okay, I get it. This is.
And speaking of this,
I don't even know who that actor was. I don't even know who he is. No idea who he is. I've never seen him before.
Have you ever watched Bold and the Beautiful?
He was very, very handsome. Yes.
Everybody on soap operas are good looking. Case in point, our good buddy Tanner Noblin.
Yeah, Tanner.
If you come to LA and you aren't in the top 1% of good looks, you got to really be going for character actors or you got to crush it in stand up. It's really
because you're going to get really discouraged. Not that I try not to put too much stuff on looks and things like that. But if you ever come to Hollywood, just go to a restaurant and just eat. Look at all the servers. Everybody, I don't care if guy, girl, whatever. Everybody's just knockout. Just look. I'm like, who are my mom even came in. Mom's like,
stunning.
Like, who are all these people? Why is everybody so good looking? And I said, well, it's because everybody comes here to try to make it big, but that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about TV here. No, but it leads perfectly into the point that I want to make is that so Aaron Pierre, finally they cast the Jon Stewart in Green Lantern. Now, if you are coming to Hollywood and you want to be in a superhero show and you don't look like this man, he looks exactly like a drawing of Jon Stewart. Chiseled jaw, striking eyes.
He already has green eyes. He's got the green eyes.
He's David. I'm telling you right now, that is a human superhero.
Yeah, he's very handsome. Josh, I told everybody a couple weeks ago, I got to interview Aaron Pierre. This was back when he was filming Krypton. Very nice guy. Never heard of him before. Don't know who this guy is. Now he's on Rebel Ridge and Netflix. It's like one of the most watched movies of Netflix this year. He's blowing up. He's having a moment right now. Aaron Pierre is having a moment.
As he should. Look at this man.
That's a handsome dude. Yep. That's a good looking dude. Yep.
They drew Green Lantern before they knew that this man existed.
Yep.
And there he is, David.
Yeah.
Look at
he's
this guy.
Right there. Yeah. Good for him. Good for him. He gets to act alongside Kyle Chandler. We know Kyle Chandler is going to be playing Hal Jordan, so that's a pretty good cast so far. I'm excited for this Lantern series.
Clear eyes, green eyes, full heart, can't lose. This guy. You want to talk about? You walk into Hollywood and you see this guy in an audition room and you don't look like him. Just can take a walk. It's over.
And I've been next to him. He's tall. I mean, I'm 6 foot flat. I don't know. He's got to be at least 6'2". He's a good sized guy. Yeah, handsome. Yeah. He's got the looks, and he can act. He's pretty good. Rebel Ridge was Josh. You see Rebel Ridge yet? You should watch that. It's your kind of movie.
Tell me about Rebel Ridge.
It's on Netflix. Guy comes into a small town. The local law enforcement is shady. They take his money, and then hell ensues. Revenge ensues, action ensues. It's nothing fancy, but it's well done.
Okay,
and he's pretty good in it.
Rebel Ridge.
Check it out. Mm-hmm.
It's
Don Johnson. Don Johnson plays the crooked cop.
Oh, this is the Don Johnson show. You keep telling me to watch this show. All right, I'm putting that on the short list.
Oh, that's a good. Bowie says it's like a modern day First Blood. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think he's like an ex-special forces Marine, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
MK Songbird says La Maquina with Diego Luna, Gael Garcia Bernal, and Eliza Gonzalez released on Hulu yesterday. 6-part series. Anybody heard of it? I started watching them about like 10 minutes into the first episode. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Diego Luna plays like this plastic surgery obsessed person. It's strange. I don't know where this show is going, but I've enjoyed it so far. I think it's it's supposed to be a comedy. It's very funny ish. It's like drama comedy, but the beginning part of it is funny that I have seen. Matthew Powell says, always a pleasure, guys. Been a fan since the AMC days. That's great. Great to see you. B House had just finished Fight Night $1 Million Heist. Highly under the radar show on right now. That show has not appealed to me just yet.
I keep forgetting about it. It's got a huge cast, though. I just keep forgetting about it.
Yeah. Oh, and MK Songbird saying Aaron Pierre was very good, and Barry Jenkins is the Underground Railroad on Prime Video.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was good. Okay. That's a hard show to watch. It's just slavery and all. It's just very brutal. It's well done though. Well done. Yeah, I was gonna say another show that you and I both love that has some exciting news is Reacher. Reacher's not on. So there's 2 Reacher things that dropped this week. We're getting a season 4 ahead of the season 3 release. We already know, so that's good. We're getting another season of Reacher. We have 2 upcoming seasons of Reacher, and we're getting a spinoff featuring Francis Neely. And he has that thing he always says, like, how do I ever tell you, like, not nearly enough or something? He always does that joke with her.
Not nearly enough.
Not nearly enough. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But we're getting more Reacher. So anything in the Reacher universe, I'm happy to see.
And you know what? The picture that they have on the Hollywood Reporter article, it looks nothing like they make her look in the show, because
I know,
in that
she's
picture,
kind of looking a little. She's got like the wet hair and
she's all model looking.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Usually she has her hair up and she looks very like military, very serious, stoic. But yeah, here they kind of have her like, oh, maybe this might be a little different.
My goodness, that is an attractive woman. In Jack Reacher, they are not going for good looks there with Neely. And I think is she lesbian in the show? Because her and Reacher don't have any kind of
there's no chemistry with them at all. I don't know if they've ever brought it up. I don't know. And I've never read the book, so I don't know. I'm not sure. But that's very exciting.
Matthew Powell, I will get to your question about. I know that David hasn't watched Bad Monkey on Apple TV, but I did watch the season.
No, I watched it. I'm just behind. I'm on like episode 5. Yeah, okay. I've seen a bunch. Michelle and I are watching it. We're just watching. Nice. There's so many shows, but I like it.
I watched the season finale last night, so we can address this. Matthew Powell says, "Do you guys think Vince in Bad Monkey is the new Fletch?" Fletch. Do you remember Chevy Chase in Fletch? Did you ever see Fletch? Or Fletch Lives wasn't very good, but Fletch is great. But I have loved Bad Monkey. I thought this show was awesome. I don't know if MK Songbird probably knows this. He's like Mr. Facts. If they got a season 2, I think they might have. I know that we saw that Sugar got renewed for a season 2.
Yeah,
which we loved. Another great. I mean, Apple TV, HBO, Netflix, Hulu, FX are it. Everything else is sort of fishing around. Like Amazon really hasn't had a banger for me in a while. Like a must see outside of, I guess Jack Reacher. I'm not the biggest fan of the Lord of the Rings one. I'm very confused as to who is what at this point. Like in what timeline, and now we've got Sauron. It's a lot of friggin' wizards, man.
I'm enjoying Rings of Power. I thought season 2 was a big improvement over season 1. But if you're not like into Lord of the Rings, then you have to kind of at least be a little into the series to appreciate it.
Because I watched season 1 and I was like, I mean, it took me a long time to watch it. Like it took me a while to get to it. And I don't love it.
I wouldn't think so.
I'm trying to be as positive as I can, David.
No, I would not recommend that you need to watch. You don't need to catch up with. I'll be the Lord of the Rings person on TV Talk. I'll keep watching it.
Okay.
I'm enjoying. It just wrapped. Season 2 just wrapped. It was very good.
Season 2 is over.
Season 2 is done. Yeah, they had a huge 2-episode big battle. I mean, you see all that money they put into that show. It every dollar of that project you can see on screen. It looks gorgeous.
8 episodes?
8. Yep. 8.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, again, I got to kind of get back into it. I did watch that recap of all the things. They blew up there's just so many wizards.
Well, this season 2 is I like more because you get a lot more Sauron. Sauron. I like how they like roll all their R's. I can't speak. Like the way they
Sauron.
pronounce every single name, it seems like they have to think about it because they always like roll an R, or
Yeah.
it's just very hard to speak out. Anyway, but you get a lot of Sauron. So you get the villain, and he's like meddling with everything. He's deceiving people. He's tricking people. He's trying to make the rings. I mean, it's all very. I like it. I like the actor who plays Sauron too. He's doing a good job. He's a good villain.
I like that guy. He's a good Sauron.
I like that.
He's,
I mean, he's doing what he's doing. You know, he's fine. Yeah.
He's a good guy, this Sauron.
I mean, okay. Like, unlike the Penguin, there's really you can't sympathize with him. Like, Penguin's got a crazy mom. I don't know what Sauron's excuse is. He doesn't really have an excuse about being bad. So, yeah, he's not relatable like Penguin is.
Yeah. But
if Penguin's relatable, if he's relatable.
Thank you. We can get to the Penguin later. I'm gonna release my like individual review of episodes 2 and 3. But we'll get to Penguin. We'll get to Penguin. Oh, okay, we'll get to Penguin. The thing about, and maybe that is the point about these wizards and these fantasy shows, is like they don't have that like, let's go to their house and see what their their childhood was like. So like we don't have Sauron's parents back in an apartment. Oh, friggin' Sauron, I hate this friggin' guy. We know why he wanted to blow up the world, because he had a rough child. I think he's just a really bad wizard that we create. I don't know why Sauron is Sauron.
Yeah, I mean, they're like they're archetypes. In those kind of stories, like you're not really getting, there's no real origin story. You're not getting him like when he was a kid and he was being picked on and no one liked him. And, I mean, he's just kind of, he is who he is. He's a being, a creation of evil.
He is who he is, David.
He is
who he is.
Oh, Agatha. Hunter's asking about Agatha. Josh, I am watching Agatha All Along. Josh, this is definitely not your show. It's a little scary. It's Halloween-y, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think Catherine Hahn is incredible. Every episode, so what they're doing, Josh, is they're going on this journey down. I think it's called the Witch's Road or something like that.
Okay.
So every episode is a new adventure on the road. They come to a house or an event, and they have to pass a test. It's really well done. I think Aubrey Plaza, who's I could take her or leave her. Depends what role I'm watching. She's really good. Like she's perfect to play a witch. Perfect. For that. So like,
she's been a witch since like Parks and Rec. She's been a witch. Like,
yeah, she just has that look. I mean, she's perfect for it. Her and Catherine Hahn, like their banter. It's a fun show. It's probably one of the more enjoyable Marvel TV shows I've seen. Where like every episode I get into it, I enjoy it. You don't have to know anything about Marvel lore or what came before. You can kind of just. My mother-in-law started watching it because she's like, "Oh, look at a good Halloween show. Why not?" She's never even seen really a Marvel movie, and she's enjoying it. So I don't know. I think they're doing a really good job with it.
Now, see, here's the thing. I love Catherine Hahn, and I actually am a big Aubrey Plaza fan. I think she's fantastic in most everything she does. Mm-hmm. And this has been like looking at me like, hey, you want to watch this? You sure? You might want to watch this.
Yeah. It's not that scary. I mean, it's Halloween-y, but it's not like there's no big jump scares. I mean, it's not a horror movie.
Okay.
So,
okay.
You won't have any nightmares. No nightmares, Josh.
No nightmares. I mean, I wouldn't think. I don't know. I'm only scared. Here's what I'm really scared of. The ones like the scary jump ones, like it.
Yeah.
And those ones. I don't like those. No. This one is not. I feel like this one. It's not even advertised like that. The ones that I don't want to watch are like House on Haunted Hill or like American Horror Story. Like those. I don't. What I do like is how the franchise, which I thought is unbelievably brilliantly written. Like that is movie making. That is how those things are done, right? And it's very spoofy and hilarious, but the casting's great and the writing is great. But when they talk about like Shane, which I'm guessing is like the Kevin Feige, right? He's the Kevin Feige. He's like, oh, they decided to murder all the fish people. And so they had like, and that guy's like, do I still get my per diem? That is what I think of now of Marvel is like, okay, so Agatha shot and they're like, oh, we weren't going to include any of the witches in the new Marvel. And they're like, well, cancel the show. So the fact that they aren't, you don't have to have watched, Death on Millhouse Lane. What was the one with WandaVision?
WandaVision. Yeah. Even if you didn't see WandaVision, you could just start watching this. Like all you need to know is that she's a witch and she has an objective, and that's all I need to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely will watch this. I know this is like sort of in the wheelhouse of like things that I really should be watching, right? So I will do that for sure.
What's going on over there, Josh? What's happening?
No,
who's there?
I have to start chopping down a tree in about 25 minutes.
Oh no.
We have a tree in our side yard that we've been working on. It's huge. And then this weekend I'm heading out of town to go to see Penn State play USC at the Coliseum. I'm coming into LA for like 12 hours, David, just to see the game and then leave.
Okay.
But I'm worried that Penn State's going to lose. This is such a trap game. Oh my God. Anyway,
Bills and Penn State both have trap games this week.
The Steelers, we have to go to Vegas. We never beat the Raiders at away or at home for that matter. But Hunter Gasaway saying first episode of the franchise was very accurate. If you've ever been on a set, it's 1,000,000% accurate.
Yeah.
It's so accurate. The girl that is going to play like the evil producer is the evil person in The Boys. If I remember her from season 1 or 2, she played like do you know what I'm talking about? At the end, she like zips up the producer tent.
Oh, let me see. I need to check. Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about? Dark hair.
I know. I can see. I know. I think I do. I just. Where's MKS Songbird?
B House says Aya Cash.
Aya Cash. Yes. Yeah. Oh, what was that show she was on, Josh, on FX? I love that comedy she was in.
You're the Worst? Was she in
No. It was a comedy. Aya Cash. She was
MKS Songbird, give it to us. B How she was Stormfront in The Boys.
Yeah, Stormfront in The Boys, but there was that FX comedy she was in that was really fun. I like Aya Cash a lot.
Hit me with it. Come on, chat.
You're the worst. Thank you, Leo. You're the worst.
I thought I just said that.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
I was like, you're the worst. You're like, come on, Josh. You're better than that.
I missed it.
No, I was pleasantly surprised by that. I am still, David, I'm struggling to get through episodes of Industry, but I do like
you're still watching.
I'm still watching.
Are you on season 1 still, or
what's that?
Are you on season 1 or are you on season 2?
I'm on season 1, episode 3.
Ooh. That's a slosh. They're going slow.
I know, because I've really liked other shows. Other shows have supplanted my want to watch Industry.
Yeah.
I've really liked the Aaron Hernandez. As bad as the acting and as silly as that show is, it is borderline unwatchable at points, but it is awesome. It is it's like you have to watch it because I love sports. So I'm like, I got to see where they go with this absurdity. Like the casting for Bill Belichick and the guy just acting like Bill Belichick. He's not acting. He's acting like he thinks Bill Belichick would act. There's this scene. Are you caught up? Are you caught up with it?
No, go ahead. I'm a couple episodes behind.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is the coach of the New England Patriots. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay? There's this scene in his office where he puts on a CD of Bon Jovi, "It's My Life." Okay. And he rocks out. And at one point, they have the camera on him and he goes, and I'm like, Bill Belichick would not do that.
No, I can't see Bill Belichick doing that.
He is not doing that. Okay.
Unless they have some inside information that we're not aware of. That's all I can think about. But no.
It is. And then they get this kid to play Gronkowski. And it is like they got his stunt double from the big noon kickoff on Fox. And they were like, hey, come in and be Gronk. He's like, Aaron, what's up, bro? It's me, Gronk. Let's go play tight end. And I'm like, yes, this is what I wanted from this show. It is so bad it's good, David. It's so bad it's good. Anyway. Sorry,
I can't tell with the show if they're trying to be funny or because it's a very serious subject. Like the Aaron Hernandez story, there's nothing funny about it. But I can't tell if the show's like the humor's intentional or it's just some of it's coming off as silly. I can't figure it out.
So I will say this: the one thing, I mean, in classic Ryan Murphy fashion, they really hammer home the sexual stuff, the gay sexual stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they really, really hammer home the concussion stuff, right? Then that's I mean, in every episode, there's some sort. In this last one, they really hammer home a lot of the concussion stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, they hammer home like the marijuana use, and then they hammer home the fact that him going back to Bristol was the worst thing that could have ever happened. Him becoming a Patriot was awful because he gets back in with his old crew and his old group of friends, and as hard as his aunt and his aunt's kind of like a gangster, like drug dealer.
I remember that, and then I just remember that from the documentaries about him because like his aunt, even like when he was in prison, she would call him. Like they were really close. That was probably his biggest supporter was his aunt. Yeah,
was his aunt. Yeah, but she was bad news because she was a drug dealer, and you know, not exactly somebody you want to be leading somebody that is in a very vulnerable position back at home, a millionaire, super famous, all that kind of stuff. Right. I never realized this. MK Songbird, the actor playing Belichick, is the actor that played Kevin Rayburn in Bloodline, the reject brother.
Okay.
That totally slipped my head.
It was the Belichick of it all. It was too much. You're like, wait, what's happening?
I couldn't tell who that was. It was just that I can imagine the director being like, okay, I've never seen a football game. Really and truly, I've never seen one. But do you know what Bill Belichick sounds and looks like? He's like, yeah, I got it. Don't worry about it.
I got it.
Hey, Aaron, how about here? Let's put in a package. Like when they're talking about drafting Hernandez and they're in the war room on draft day, he's like, I mean, I could just run 2 tight ends and we'll make up a system for him, draft him, and end up he's like, all right, put the call in. And the guy playing Robert Kraft is like, hey, we're gonna just spray tan the shit out of you. We're gonna spray tan you so bad. And he's like, oh yeah, seems like a good idea to me. Let's do it. It's dude, it is something, man. This show is it's not supposed to be a comedy, and I am laughing.
No, I need to catch up. I've been watching. Someone in the comments talked about Slow Horses. Slow Horses season 4 just wrapped. And what I love about Slow Horses is they film pretty quickly the next. So like whenever one season ends, you usually get like a little trailer of the next season, like in 2025, and you get to see some clips from the next season because they've already shot so much of it. So yeah, Slow Horses continues to impress. One of my favorite shows on TV. I'm glad it's just keeps going. I think Gary Oldman says, I'll do this character as long as they'll have me, which he's perfect for it. So
I will say I need to get some sort of like an illness or something so I can just lay in bed and watch Slow Horses, or I need like, you know what I mean? I need to really invest some time into Slow Horses.
So it's like I need to be like a little bit down for the count for a while so I can just sit
and with a kid and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Can somebody I don't know who tweeted me, but I think it might have been MK Songbird. When Rogue Heroes season 2, there is a season 2 that has wrapped and it's coming out. And I haven't found like an exact date for its release of Rogue Heroes. And I know, David, you didn't watch Rogue Heroes, but I love it. I love it. So I know that's coming back. I bring that up because it's British. I figured,
okay. Have you heard a disclaimer coming out on Apple? It's I think it's Alfonso Cuarón's series. Kate Blanchett's in it. It looks very heavy, like it's going to be intense, which is not a bad thing. Alfonso Cuarón's a very good director, so I'm curious to see him do a television series. We'll see. Yes, Leo, it is on my radar. I want to check it out.
Okay. Where is that going to be? Where is
it's going to be on Apple? Apple. Oh, we're also getting. I think Shrinking comes back next week. I want to say Shrinking like next Wednesday.
And I think David, I know you don't watch the show, but Outer Banks dropped today.
Outer Banks.
That's my teen drama guilty pleasure show with Amanda. If teens were Indiana Jones and hot and sweaty in North Carolina, welcome to the Outer Banks.
Oh, Outer Banks. I think you're saying Albert Banks. No, I've heard of Outer Banks. Yeah.
Yeah, Outer Banks. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one. Okay, so let's talk about. Hold on. Let's see what we haven't gotten to.
Some other things, real quick. Amazon ordered a RoboCop TV series, which is I like RoboCop. I'll check that out. And we got a Last of Us. I think we got a Last of Us trailer.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Fantastic. Yeah,
dude, that Last of Us trailer.
Yes. I love that Catherine O'Hara's. She's having she's already had moments, but I feel like she's having a little bit of a comeback here. I mean, after Schitt's Creek, and then she had Beetlejuice 2, and then she's going to be on Last of Us. I'm glad she's in this. It looks fantastic. And I've played the game, so I know where the story's going, so don't worry, Josh, I won't say anything. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this is going to unfold.
I think that might be the best TV trailer I've ever seen.
It's a great trailer. Great trailer.
Awesome.
But anytime you can have Pedro Pascal just looking at the camera and the 2 tears just drop, it's like, oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Talk about having a moment. I mean, Pedro Pascal he has Gladiator 2 coming out with Denzel, and I mean Pedro, and he has Mandalorian. I mean, he's talk about a moment. He's been having a moment for the last few years.
Dude, he's like Ryan Seacrest. The guy doesn't stop working for crying.
No, he's everywhere. Yeah, he's everywhere.
And this all goes back to, I think the first time I ever saw Pedro Pascal was as the philanderous sexual being in Game of Thrones who got his eyes clawed out by the mountain.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hunter
he had that great duel with the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks he kills him and then
he's talking
squonk.
Yep.
That is a brutal. That might be one of the most brutal scenes in TV history. Holy moly. B House saying it perfectly. Hopefully that's early 2025 for Last of Us. God, I hope so. I'm probably thinking March, April, maybe.
Yeah.
I think April seems like right in the summer, you know.
Josh, forgot to tell you, nope, I'm not. This won't spoil anything for you, but just a little encouragement to watch at least the first episode of Agatha All Along. They do a little spoof on Mayor of Easttown.
Oh,
so they're all doing those
Philly accents.
That Philly accent, yeah. Which it took me a second to realize what they were doing. I'm like, what? Why are they talking that? Like, what's happening? And I'm like, oh, I see. So because I know you're from, Pennsylvania, so you'd probably appreciate that.
Well, now you're going to get me to watch it, David.
Yeah, at least the first episode.
They do the South Philly accent. You get a cheesesteak at Bureau. You drink water, all that.
Which also makes me want a season 2 of Mayor of Easttown. I would love to see a season 2. That was such a good show.
I just think that was. I mean, you're only going to get Kate Winslet for certain things, right? And I think once she was done with that, she was done with that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that's one of those things where, like, if you did a second season, there's no way it was going to be as good as the first. That's how I
probably. Yeah.
B How, put some respect on Philly. Oh, I don't know, B How. Okay. You got your sandwiches all confused. Okay. You got too many sandwiches. Everybody's arguing about what you put on your cheesesteak, what you take off it. Okay. We can all agree the best place to ever go is the Jersey Shore. Okay. You go to Ocean City, you go to Stone Harbor, you go to Avalon, you go to Seattle City. Okay.
Jersey Shore.
It's gorgeous. Okay. It's perfect. Don't be messing with it. Now I'm slipping into Pittsburgh. My Pittsburgh accent is it. I don't do a great Philly accent. I don't. It's hard. It's like it's one of those accents. It's like you can do a New York, you can do a New Jersey, you can do Chicago, right? You can do the South, you can do that, right? But you have to be from Philly to really get that Philly accent or have a great dialect coach that's really working with you on it. Like where I can just dip down to Pittsburgh. Like you can go into if you're from Pittsburgh, you can do the accent. Like you grew up around it. You like, oh, look, they got this really good looking dude to play Green Lantern. Oh, you're going to go out to Hollywood? Hey, if you don't look like this dude, you ain't getting cast in nothing. Okay. I don't care what you look like. If you don't look like that dude, you ain't getting cast. I'm just telling you right that. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about this list, this top 50 list, David. Okay.
Yeah. What is this thing you sent me? What's the thing called? Like puberty or pubicity or
puberty. It's a very famous.
They have a lot of followers. I'm just not familiar with them.
Tons of followers. I don't know. It's one of those things.
39 million followers.
Yeah, it's huge, right?
Wow.
I mean, did I send it to you on Instagram?
Send it to me. So if you go under our chat, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on one second. Let me pull this up.
So basically, this is a ranking of the best TV shows of all time according to this puberty, and it's the top 50. But what it does is it's an aggregate of Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Metacritic, all those things. It's this aggregate score, and it pulls them all together to rank. So it's not their opinion.
No,
they're just doing an aggregated score.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is not the order I would have. What do you think? There's some shows I would move up. Shows I would take off the list.
I'm just going to rattle off okay. Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones are at 1 and 2.
Josh, do top 10. What's the top 10?
Here's the top 10. Breaking Bad 1, Game of Thrones 2, Chernobyl 3. That is fucking insane. I'm sorry.
I mean, I like Chernobyl a lot, but it's not in my top 10. Not even top 20.
I mean, it might be my top 50. Sure,
yeah, 50,
guess,
right? It's a great show.
Okay. Number 4, Sopranos. That should be number 2 in my opinion. Although, as I've been deep in this rewatch, I realize how tough it does get to watch in like end of season 4, 5, 6, because you've got so much Janice bullshit. Like
seasons 1 through 3 are like perfect.
Unbelievable.
Perfect. Yeah.
The number 5, Band of Brothers, makes total sense. That should be in the top 10.
Band of Brothers, top 10. Yeah.
The Wire, nailed
top
it.
10. Yeah.
Better Call Saul. Yes.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it.
Yeah. Stranger Things?
No, Stranger Things.
Funking out of your mind?
Out. No Stranger Things in the top 10. No, thank you.
Sherlock at 9? Sherlock.
No. I mean, I enjoyed Sherlock, but no, not top 10.
Hey, Daniel Sevilla, good to see you. Peaky Blinders at 10. Okay, you know me. I love Peaky Blinders. I love it. I love it.
We're getting a movie.
I know we're getting a movie, but I haven't watched a season since like season 3.5, 4.
Well, I think, Josh, remember, you and I did the same thing. I think we started watching the final season, but I think we got like 2 or 3 in, and we're just like, I don't know. Like, I kind of felt like I was done with it. I'm like, I think I've just seen enough.
Yes.
But it's a great show. I mean, I'm not trying to put Peaky Blinders down. I'm sure I'll watch the movie.
David, it's a fantastic show. I just think it like I because the seasons got released so far apart.
Yeah,
that I kind of lost it.
It was hard to get all those actors together too.
Okay, I'm just going to rattle off these.
Yeah.
11, The Twilight Zone. What? Are you kidding me? 1959, The Twilight Zone. All right,
I mean that's a classic. That's a classic.
Fleabag, I love it, not 12. Fargo, love it, not 13. House at 14. House.
I didn't really watch. My dad enjoyed that show. I didn't really watch it.
House at 14. Friends at 15. Okay, Dark. What the fuck is Dark? Excuse my language.
Oh, Dark. That's the German show. Yeah, Dark is trippy. It's good, but I don't think it would make my top 25.
David, you know what though? It ain't no Pole Dark. I'll tell you that much.
No, it's not. Pole Dark might make my top 25.
Don't
good.
Pole Darker than David.
Actually, no, Josh, Downton Abbey. Where's Downton Abbey on this?
Yeah, list? Where is Downton Abbey? It's not even in the top 25.
Downton Abbey, Josh.
17.
Downton Abbey did not make the list.
But this is the British office. This isn't even the American office. Succession at 18. Okay. Succession.
Good show.
Beginning to end, that show bangs. It's great.
Yeah.
Beginning to end. Right? They got out at the exact right time. Okay. I know you watched Battlestar Galactica at 19.
I never Battlestar Galactica. It might be in my top 10, maybe top 15. I love Battlestar. Yeah. One of my favorites.
Freaks and Geeks at 20. Now, Freaks and Geeks, I will stand on the soapbox. It's the best one season of television maybe ever.
Okay.
And it was a network show on Fox. And it was Judd Apatow's first show. I mean, it is really good. It's good. Mad Men at 21, Narcos 22, Mindhunter 23, Mr. Robot and Black Mirror 24 and 25. Mr. Robot? That show stunk after season 1.
Yeah, I didn't stay with it. I think I watched the fir't 2 seasons.
And I can't watch more Black Mirror. I'm already in a state.
I haven't seen the newest season. I haven't even checked it out. I missed it.
I want to give our buddy Stokes Yard 1999 a shout out. Lost came in at 35, bud.
Yeah. Deadwood is 37.
Deadwood 37. Mayor of Easttown 38. I mean,
Bear is 40.
The Bear is at 40. Seinfeld at 30. The Boys beat Seinfeld, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia beat The Boys. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Seinfeld need to be above Friends. I'm sorry.
This list again. This is just an aggregate list. It's not. Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, Jonathan Peck correcting me. Thank you, Jonathan Peck. Actually, Freaks and Geeks was on NBC, not Fox. You know what I'm thinking of? Undeclared was on Fox, I believe. Freaks and Geeks. So, but that was Judd Apatow's follow-up to Freaks and Geeks with a couple of the same characters, not playing.
That's how I think. I know Joss Whedon is a controversial figure because of things that have happened in the news with his past, but I love, speaking of my favorite one-season shows, is Firefly. was really it's sci-fi. You know, Nathan Fillion.
I was gonna say that's Nathan
I really
Fillion.
enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Like, it got a movie, but just a 1-season show on Fox.
But that's that list on Puberty, which is it's a gigantic, obviously, social media following, and they took the average. So that's like sort of a definitive list, if you will. When it's not opinion based, is what I'm getting. Well, it is sort of opinion based, but it's like
it's not their opinion. They're just They're crunching the numbers, and that's what comes out. But I don't know.
A lot of my shows, David, didn't make that. A lot of my shows.
I know.
I am standing on a mountain screaming the show Halt and Catch Fire. If you have never watched, or anybody has never watched Halt and Catch Fire, that show is so good. It's so good.
There's also Halt and Catch Fire. I forgot her name, but the lead actress in Halt and Catch Fire. She's on another show called she's on a show called Station 11, which is a one-off. I heard it's excellent. I haven't checked it out, but I heard it's.
I watched that. The guy from Franchise is the other star of that. Or
is it good? Station 11.
I watched like 5 episodes. I didn't love it. I've heard. I mean, maybe I should finish it, but it was one of those shows where I just watched enough until I was like, not really the same.
Yeah.
But it's, man, I would love to, like, I think a really good piece of content if you and I got together and took like every show we ever loved. And started putting them on a board and started arguing their place, where they should go. Right. I'm talking everything. Comedy, dramas, miniseries. It can't be a TV movie. It has to have at least 4 episodes.
Okay.
Maybe even 6. I think 6 might be the limit. How many is This Is Us or The Last of Us? Is that 6 or is that 8?
I think 8.
Okay.
But The Last of Us is also it's multiple seasons. It's a continuing. Yeah.
Be How 26. I'm going to tell you right now, The Simpsons isn't even on the list. The Simpsons.
The Simpsons didn't make it. Oh, Simpsons. Yeah, Simpsons has to be on there.
No Simpsons on it.
Yeah, there's 8 episodes. Yeah, Last of Us. Yeah, 8.
Yeah. Anyway, let's do a quick rapid fire, and then we'll get to our pick of the week. Because I got to be done by 5.
Oh yeah, it's almost 5.
Stop chopping down a tree.
Yeah, chop down a tree. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do on the channel, if you guys want to. I'm gonna do an individual review of The Penguin, and nobody wants this. Amanda, I'm gonna try and get Amanda and I to pop on here and talk a little bit about it because I love
Penguin with you.
Kristen Bell is Kristen Bell put on a master acting class. She was great. And I didn't watch all of The Good Place, but everybody swears by The Good Place. But Wiley sent us Streamlabs. Thank you, Wiley. Thanks for pointing that out. If you want to support the show, there's all kinds of links in the description. Nobody Wants This is a great modern comedy. And the first time I've really seen Adam Brody in anything in a while, and he's great in it. He really is fantastic in the show.
Somebody in the comments asked about Sweet Pea, if we're going to check it out. That premieres on Friday on Stars. I think it's like it has Purnell, who was in Fallout, and she was in Yellow Jackets. I think it's has something to do with it's like a Carrie situation. Like, I don't think it's supernatural, but it's like she becomes a serial killer. I think she's like getting picked on or something happens, and then she goes and kills him. I think that's the premise. Somebody in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks interesting. It's got some good reviews. So Sweet Pea with Purnell comes out on Friday on Stars. So
okay. All right.
Oh, it's on today. So thanks, Songbird, today.
Thanks, Songbird. I want to give a shout out to our buddy Wiley, OFC. Hey guys, just wanted to thank you, Josh, for saying choose positivity. I've been watching for years, and it just now recently clicked with me to start. I'm 24 now, and I'm glad I am learning it now. Keep doing it. Thanks. Yeah, man. It's hard sometimes every day to wake up and be positive. But it helps you mentally, and it helps the people around you mentally. It helps people that you don't even know. Like when you go to, like yesterday, for instance, I was at the bank getting rolls of quarters because our dryer broke and we had to go to a laundromat to dry our clothes. It's what happens, David, when your wife puts shoes in the dryer. Don't put shoes in the dryer. Just leave them wash them and then put them in the sun and let them air dry. Anyway, thanks, Matthew. Go Steelers. And the bank teller, I gave her a 20. I needed $20 in quarters. Like, you look amazing today. And she was like, this nice older lady, and she was like, oh my God. She's like, nobody's even commented, and I wore this for the first time today, and nobody's even noticed.
Aww.
That's the kind of stuff. Say things to people. Say nice things to people. Choose positivity. It matters. It really, really does. David, are you all caught up on the Penguin?
I need to watch again. I was out of town. I left Sunday, so I left and my dad. So I need to watch episode 3, but I have seen the first 2.
Okay, so in 2 weeks when we do another TV talk, we'll be into episode 5 of the Penguin. We'll get big into that. But David, I do a pretty good Penguin now. Not gonna lie, it's more of a Bobby Cannavale, Robert De Niro kind of a thing. Okay, I've been working on my Penguin.
Hey, you gotta get the shoulders into it too.
Hey, Vic. Hey, Sophia, what do you? Oh, Sophia, you do what I do for you, okay? I don't do it for nobody. This is gonna be the biggest drug in the history of Gotham. We're gonna bring the streets down. You telling me? Like I think that I'm getting pretty good at it, Josh. I think I'm getting pretty good.
That's pretty good. I like it. It's good.
All right. This is TV Talk. David, your
Pick of the Week is a weekly show on Netflix. I'm saying it again, weekly, not a binge. The Great British Bake Off is back. It's just a very positive show, good feels. Michelle, my wife, and I watch it usually on the weekend. I think it comes out on Fridays. We watch it over the weekend. It's just feel good show. You start feeling the holidays, the fall coming back. I mean, I love that show. It's just all the good feels.
David, do you bake? Is this inspired?
I do bake. I do. Yeah. I'm not as well as those folks, but I do bake a little. I dabble.
He dabbles, a big dabbler. Okay. My of the week. I'm gonna go with Nobody Wants This. Okay. I never thought that I was as big a Kristen Bell fan as I was until I watched this show. Okay. And then the girl who plays her sister is the girl who plays the girlfriend in Succession of Connor. That actress, she's absolutely fantastic. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I want an MK Songbird. Tell me her name in the chat. I want to get it right. But in Nobody Wants This, she plays Kristen Bell's sister. They have a podcast together. She starts dating Adam Brody. I will leave you nothing other than the family dynamics are incredible. The jokes are super well timed. It's very LA centric. It's very like hipster. Justine Lupe. Thank you, Hunter Gasaway. It was Amanda and I binge watched. Like, it's one of the few shows we binge watched in a while where like she was putting Rosie to bed and be like, turn on the show. And when it was over, we were both like, kind of like, oh man, like that was really, really good. So hits you in the feels. If you are an adult and like in a relationship, or maybe you're single or you're looking for somebody, it's a really cool story. If you have families that clash or like different religious beliefs, then maybe your significant other, this is a really fun show about all that stuff. Hunter Gasaway, she was also in Mrs. Maisel. That's right.
Yeah. She was the Maisel's sister-in-law. Yeah.
Sister-in-law. Yeah. And I loved it. And I think that you and Michelle will love it too, David. I think it's a very, very good couple show to watch. So that's TV Talk. We'll be back here not next week, but the week after, which is what, the
24th.
We might have to do it that Wednesday if you are into that, because I think I'm going to Texas, David, to play golf.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you're going. Is that where the Cup is this year? The Queen's Cup?
No, again? Queen's Cup. I don't know if we're going to be able to do a Queen's Cup in 2020.
Okay.
Might be tough. If we do, it'll be in LA, maybe in December, so you can play in it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah.
But thank you all for being here. Choose positivity. It's an active choice. Call somebody, text them, tell them you love them. It matters. It's ways to love than hate. Find the good. And we'll see you when we see you. Until then, you put down the book and you pick up the remote. Okay. There's a lot on TV right now, and there's a lot of really good TV, positive TV, sports TV, scripted TV. I'm going to keep talking as I hit end stream. Thank you all for your kind